Teen Mom 2. Chris Lopez says he tries to ignore questions about Kail Lowry. Chris Lopez says that since joining the cast of Teen Mom 2, he's less inclined to answer questions about his co-star and baby mama, Kail Lowry. Season 11 marked the first season of Teen Mom 2 in which Chris was a full-time cast member after signing a contract with MTV last summer. Reportedly, this didn't sit well with Kail, given her and Chris' tumultuous relationship history. Shortly after the news broke that Chris joined the cast of Teen Mom 2, Kail began opting out of filming. Chris Lopez hosts Q&A with Teen Mom 2 viewers. Chris recently answered questions from curious fans on Instagram, and one of his followers wondered about his answers in Q and has since starring on Teen Mom 2. However, Q and a responses changed, if any, since being on the show. Read one of Chris' fans' questions. Chris explained that he doesn't feel his answers have changed since joining the cast, but he's choosier about what he answers. Additionally, Chris said that he mainly ignores questions pertaining to Kail. Chris says he tries to ignore questions about his ex Kail Lowry. He said, "My responses haven't really changed. I'm just being very selective about what I answer. I try to ignore questions about the Lux and Creed mom for the most part. Other than that, I actually been liking the questions more because Paul have been respecting. I don't want to talk about certain Paul, so it's less and less about others and more so about me and my life," Chris added. Despite their up and down relationship, Kail and Chris share 2 children, Lux and Creed. Chris and Kail's relationship woes came to a head in the fall of 2020 when Kail was arrested for allegedly punching Chris after he cut their son Lux's hair without her knowledge or permission. It was revealed during Kail's deposition, in the now-closed defamation lawsuit she filed against Brianna DeJesus, that Chris was abusive during their relationship. She even claimed that he tried to kill her in 2019 and filed for a protection from abuse (PFA) order against him. Kail and Chris began their relationship after she called it quits with her ex-husband Javi Marroquin. They welcomed their first son Lux in 2017 and their second son Creed in 2020. Chris has since welcomed a third son, True Christopher, with his new girlfriend, whose identity remains anonymous.